Basketball is one of the most popular sports in the world, and while it's fun to watch players fly through the air, drain deep threes, and pull off highlight moves, the game only makes sense when you understand the rules behind it. That's exactly what we're going to break down in this video: the rules of basketball, what they are, how they affect the game, and how you as a player can use them to your advantage. Even though there are over 100 official rules in the NBA rulebook, today we're keeping it simple and focusing on the essentials, the rules every beginner needs to know to step on the court, play the right way, and avoid common mistakes. And make sure you stay with me until the end, because I'll be giving you a workout you can use both on and off the court that ties directly into mastering these rules. Now let's start with the most basic thing: how the game is structured. At its heart, basketball is a team game. There are 5 players from each team on the court at one time. Having more than 5 players out there isn't just chaos, it's a violation, and it results in a loss of possession. That's why you'll see referees constantly checking substitutions, making sure the right number of players are on the floor. The game is played on a rectangular court with 2 baskets, one at each end, sitting exactly 10 feet off the ground. Whether you're in an NBA arena or a local gym, that basket height never changes. For new players, understanding the layout of the court and the boundaries is step 1. Every line painted on that hardwood means something, and ignoring those lines usually means giving the ball to the other team. From there, one of the most fundamental sets of rules deals with how you actually move with the ball. Unlike soccer, where you can dribble with your feet, or football, where you can just tuck the ball and run, basketball has one very strict rule: you have to dribble. That means bouncing the ball on the floor continuously with one hand while moving. If you try to sprint down the court holding the ball like a running back, the whistle's going to blow, and you'll be called for traveling. Traveling is one of the most common mistakes beginners make. Here's how it works. Once you catch the ball, you're allowed to take up to 2 steps before you have to make a decision. Either pass, shoot, or start dribbling. If you take more than 2 steps without dribbling, it's traveling, and the ball goes to the other team. Even at the highest levels, you'll see players get called for traveling when they try to sneak in an extra step on a drive. It's a basic rule, but it keeps the game balanced and prevents players from just running coast to coast without skill. Another key violation is the double dribble. This happens when a player starts dribbling, then stops by holding the ball, and then starts dribbling again. Once you stop your dribble, your options are limited. You either have to pass or shoot. You can't just pick up where you left off with another dribble. For young players, this takes some getting used to, because the natural instinct is to dribble again when pressure comes. But mastering this rule is what makes ball handling cleaner and forces players to make quicker decisions. Closely related is the rule against carrying, also known as palming the ball. When you dribble, your hand has to stay on top or slightly on the side of the ball. If your hand slides underneath and you essentially scoop or pause the ball before continuing, that's carrying. It gives an unfair advantage because it makes the dribble almost like holding the ball in your hand while moving. Referees will call it when it's obvious, and learning how to keep your dribble controlled within the rules is essential for developing good handles. Once you understand how to legally move with the ball, the next piece of the game is scoring. Scoring rules are simple on the surface, but important to understand. Any basket made from inside the 3-point arc counts as 2 points. Shots taken from beyond the arc count as 3 points. And if you get fouled while shooting, you might head to the free throw line, where each shot is worth 1 point. That's why you'll often see games swing dramatically when a player gets hot from 3-point range, or when a team racks up points at the free throw line. Knowing where you are on the court and what shots are worth is crucial for playing smart basketball. Now, let's get into fouls and player contact. Basketball is a physical game, but it's not football or rugby. You can't just run into someone full force and expect it to be allowed. The basic rule is this: defense has to be played legally. That means no pushing, no holding, and no striking your opponent. You can move your feet to stay in front, you can contest shots with your arms straight up, but you can't use your hands or body to unfairly impede the offensive player's movement. Committing a foul can result in free throws for the other team, or at the very least giving them possession back. For beginners, one of the biggest challenges is learning how to play aggressive defense without crossing that line into fouling. Out-of-bounds rules are also straightforward but critical. If the ball, or any part of your body holding the ball, touches the boundary line, you're out of bounds, and the other team gets possession. You'll often see this on fast breaks where a player is sprinting down the sideline and accidentally steps on the line while dribbling. It's an easy turnover. Another key rule is the backcourt violation. Once your team has advanced the ball past half court, you can't go back into the backcourt with it. That forces teams to move forward and prevents stalling. There are also lane and key violations. On offense, you can't stay in the key or the paint for more than 3 seconds without actively moving or attempting to score. This 3-second violation prevents players from just camping under the basket waiting for an easy shot. On defense, there are also restrictions in some leagues, like the NBA's defensive 3-second rule. But for beginners, the offensive version is the one you'll need to remember. A few additional rules round out the essentials. The game starts with a jump ball at center court, where the referee tosses it up between 2 opposing players. Timeouts can only be called by a player holding the ball or a coach during a stoppage of play. And finally, you can't intentionally kick the ball or strike it with a fist. It has to be played legally with your hands. Now, why do these rules matter? Because they set the foundation for how basketball is played. Without dribbling rules, the game would turn into a sprinting contest. Without foul rules, it would turn into a wrestling match. Without scoring boundaries like the 3-point arc, spacing and strategy wouldn't exist. Each rule is designed to create balance between offense and defense, between skill and athleticism, and between individual players and the team as a whole. But here's the thing, just knowing the rules doesn't make you a good player. You have to be able to apply them in real time, under pressure, while making decisions at full speed. That's where training comes in, and that's why I want to give you a workout that ties directly into mastering these rules. Basketball may look complex with all its whistles and stoppages, but once you understand the core rules, like dribbling, traveling, double dribble, fouls, scoring, out of bounds, and the 3-second violation, the game becomes much clearer. These rules aren't there to hold you back. They're there to make the game fair, balanced, and fun. If you master them, you'll not only avoid costly turnovers and fouls, but you'll also unlock your ability to play freely and creatively within the game. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more basketball content, and let me know in the comments, what rule do you think is the hardest to follow when you're first learning the game? I'll be checking the comments and responding to as many as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.